Alrighty folks, hello there and welcome to another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. Let's fire off some balanced drafts, do some Strixhaven and not mess around trying to do those whatchamacallit, Ikoria drafts, which you just force cycling all day and ignore everything else. Of course, I'm just joking. I mean, you don't necessarily force cycling. If cycling is cut off, you just end up in a base red deck where you're either in spells or sacrifice, which are also pretty strong in power level. But yeah, Ikoria can be a pretty dumb set at times since the companion nerf, the companions were really the only thing that can go head to toe with cycling. But since that nerf, it definitely made it so that all you do is force cycling. Pack one, pick one. This isn't a good pack. Best cards in this pack, I guess, are Rise of Exodus and Burying Books as great interaction spells. There's also an Elemental Summoning as a good lesson, but no busted rares, no S tier mythic uncommons, just good commons overall. I would take probably Rise of Exodus over Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Between Burying Books and Rise of Exodus, it is kind of interesting and close. Bury can lead you into Quandrix, which is what I consider the best archetype. But Rise of Exodus with the extra removal and learn is quite busted. And in this set, you really want to just enable a lot of 2-for-1s. Yeah, I probably will take Rise of Exodus. Not sure between Burying Books and Rise, since I think blue's the best color, so one can make the case just being the better color. But Rise of Exodus can go into more decks, since you can be either black or white, and the learn mechanic is just so powerful, allowing you to grab a lesson. But I think it's really between Bury and Rise. I think they're both the best commons in the set. I'm probably going to take Rise here. I would take Heated Debate over Rise, but between Rise and Burying Books, I think they're kind of close. So let's take a Rise here. Since learning is just really powerful, we can take more learn cards. There's a Combat Professor, Hunt for Specimens, and Mage Hunter's Onslaught in the same pack. There's also Blex if we want to do Witherbloom Pest, but overall I haven't been too impressed by it. The +1/+1 doesn't come up too often. Your pests tend to be small, and this is just an okay card. Best cards are Ether Helix, Combat Professor, Hunt for Specimens, Mage Hunter's Onslaught, and I guess Professor Zoomancy. Might just be Hunt for Specimens. I mean, the more learn you have, the more busted your deck is for the most part, and learn is really powerful. Otherwise, between Mage Hunter's Onslaught and Combat Professor, probably take Combat Professor, since it's single white, easier to cast, and just a powerful threat that can help us close out the game. Hunt is a much more, I guess, safer option, and then, again, just being able to learn a lot in the set is quite powerful enough in and of itself. So let's just take a Hunt for Specimens. Had we taken Burying Books, pretty easy Ether Helix, since this is also just a powerful 2-for-1. But we'll take a Hunt here. Just grab all the Learn cards. And wow, Guiding Voice, Inkling Summoning, and Allen Shield Mage in the same pack. As much as I like more Learn, I think we need to take the Inkling Summoning now as a lesson. This is probably the best creature lesson in the set, since it's an evasive threat that can help us close out the game, and definitely a high pick. If this wasn't this pack, probably just take Guiding Voice as the best white common, as more ways to potentially learn and grab up lessons. Other good cards include Golden Ratio, again, Allen Shield Mage, but I think for now with 2 learn cards, we want our lessons. Otherwise, we just end up with a bunch of learn cards and no lessons, and that can be kind of awkward. So, take Inkling Summoning. Here in this pack, another Hunt for Specimens could be awesome. More ways to learn. Allen Shield Mage would also be great. Reflective Golem, if we were more focused on the pump package could also be pretty nice, since I've seen this card overperform with the put 2 counters onto your creatures. But here we'll just take another Hunt for Specimens, and also it keeps us open. We can still be in Witherbloom somehow with this build, but I'm going to take Hunt over Allen Shield Mage, but I would like an Allen Shield Mage later if I end up in Silver Quill. Here, pretty interesting pack as well. Now it's kind of a decision. Do we want to end up in either Witherbloom, or do we want to either end up in Silver Quill? And could just take the lesson here. I mean, if we do end up in either Witherbloom or Silver Quill, we're not going to be unhappy with a bunch of learn and lesson cards, and Pest Summoning can definitely still come in handy in Silver Quill. Otherwise, we have to make a decision, like do we take Pilgrimage Ages, Blood Researcher, or do we just split the difference, either taking Leech Fanatic or Spectre? But I still think both of these 2 cards are better than these other 2 cards. And right now, I think we're kind of open still, so I think I'll just take more lessons here, and just draft Mono Black for now. And here, this pack, I guess, is kind of a decision. Do we want to end up in Witherbloom with the Fortifying Drop as a fine Pumps trick, or Show of Confidence, or still take the Essence Infusion, which is still fine in both decks? I guess we just kind of split the difference again and take the Essence Infusion. It's not like any of these cards are like incredibly powerful. Both of them are good in their respective archetypes, but Essence is still good in both decks, so we'll just take Mono Black again. And there's also Cram Session as another way to learn, and I guess now a late Demogoth Woe Eater. Now that we have Double Hunt for Specimens as good turn 2 learn cards, we probably don't need to prioritize a Cram Session as another way to learn. I could now just take a risk and pivot towards the Demogoth Woe Eater. I think this card is good if you have a ton of Pest. Definitely not great outside of Witherbloom, but seeing this late is a sign, and definitely a pretty nice card, especially since if you can just sacrifice tokens all day and smash, this can be a pretty powerful offensive threat. So don't mind Demogoth Woe Eater. Good blocker, nice offensive threat in the right Witherbloom deck. Here, there's a choice between Deadly Brew, I guess Unwilling Ingredient, and Duress. Deadly Brew is fine. Definitely better with Pest tokens, which we're kind of aiming towards, but still more of something that you might want to take later. I probably just want an Unwilling Ingredient, since I can still play this in Silver Quill, and it's a nice creature to put counters onto. Decent 1-drop, also decent to sack in Witherbloom, so we'll take the Unwilling Ingredient, and now I guess we'll take our Deadly Brew, and maybe now we can kind of choose Witherbloom as our game plan, since this is late in the pack and still a decent card. Essence Infusion with Unwilling Ingredient, I forgot to talk about this combo. It can just steal games. Same with Inkling Summoning, but yeah, we'll take Deadly Brew. Maybe we just end up in Witherbloom now, since we know it's the most open. And I mean, there's a fine lesson if we end up in Silver Quill, but Double White is not easy to cast. Maybe this time I just take the Fortifying Draught, since it just plays well with the life gain theme in Witherbloom. So yeah, I guess Witherbloom is more open than Silver Quill. I'm quite happy that it stayed open. Now this is probably our first bad pack. Could take maybe Village Rites here. Maybe Infused with Vitality could be fine, along with a card like Deadly Brew. Both of these cards are really medium. You know what? Let's take an Infused with Vitality. Can be pretty sweet sometimes. I'll find one of, and we'll take a Spectre Fence as a nice flyer. And then Tangle Trap could be a fine sideboard card if it was best out of 3. But alright, first pack, I think we're going to be committed to Witherbloom, seeing these late black-green uncommons, but we'll see. And then, speaking of Witherbloom, I do like Overgrown Arch in Witherbloom. I think this card is quite insane if you can pick up a bunch of life gain synergies. Also wouldn't mind Karok Wrangler as a fine curve topper. If we have a lot of creatures with high power, the Tend to Pest can be pretty insane. But overall, a very medium card if you don't have large creatures to sack. But yeah, I think I'm liking the Overgrown Arch, and it can also learn, which is a nice upside. Pack 1, pick 1. Remember, War Singer can be a powerful build around, but Overgrown Arch is also a pretty reasonable first pick. So I think these two are the best cards in the pack, and I'll just take an Overgrown Arch here. Hopefully pick up more lessons and learn. In this pack, there's a Fractal Summoning as a fine lesson, but there's also Lash of Malice and Umbro Juke, which are pretty solid as well. In a Witherbloom deck, Fractal Summoning is going to be okay, but if we don't ramp, it's going to be very medium, since our creature is not going to be too large. So I think I just want Lash of Malice as a really efficient removal spell in black. Umbro Juke is also okay. It can give us a 2-1 at instant speed or make the opponent sack something, but Lash is just solid efficient removal, which we can't pass up on. And Devouring Tendrils versus Blood Researcher. Why does it have to be these two cards? Yeah, I mean, Blood Researcher is going to be pretty insane in this deck. In terms of removal, we do have a decent amount of removal already. Rise of Ectus, maybe Deadly Brew, Infuse, and Lash of Malice. I think we really need some 3-drops here. Like, usually I would take Devouring Tendrils over the Blood Researcher, and there's a chance that Blood Researcher could also wheel if we take the monocolor card, and if we're the only Witherbloom drafter, but man, it is going to be pretty powerful in this deck, especially with all this life gain. So I think I'll actually take the Blood Researcher here. Like, there's a logic taking the more open option in single color, since if we're the only Witherbloom drafter, this can wheel. But imagine if we pick up multiple copies of these instead. Even 3 copies would be quite busted, and this card is an important component. And we have 0 3-drops, so I think I need to take the Blood Researcher here. Overall, close pick. Introduction is fine, but I wouldn't mind maybe another top-end card like Leyline Invocation. Probably still take Introduction, I feel like, since there's a chance we can always pick up a Rise of Exodus later. I mean, I don't know. Both of them are kind of close. This can give me a nice top-end card, but overall, we're not ramping much, so maybe Introduction is still fine. How many ways do we have to learn? 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to learn. Not sure here. Introduction is not really an amazing lesson, and we have a decent amount of removal, so maybe still take the Leyline of Invocation so we can have a bit of top-end. And now Professor is really solid in Witherbloom. Not a big fan of Mulder and Karok. As you can see, there's just better 4-drops like Spectre, Fen, Demogoth, Woe Eater, and Professor. That has more synergy and value. And then I can maybe take an Agonizing Remorse, which could be okay. There's also Introduction to Prophecy, which is a fine lesson, but not super exciting. Maybe just take Agonizing Remorse, could always main deck it, and we can offset the life loss by gaining a bunch of life. Here, between Cram Session and Snakeskin Veil, I mean, I don't mind Cram Session, it's a pretty good card, but a Snakeskin Veil pretty late is nice, especially to protect some of our key creatures at instant speed, which can come up. And we have a decent amount of ways to learn, but not enough lessons, so I think I'll just take the Snakeskin Veil here. And then I'll take my second Infuse, not sure if I'll play the first one. Deadly Brew, I might even play the second Infuse over Deadly Brew, since if we can't get permanents in the graveyard, it's not great. And while pretty late 10 to Pest, okay. If we do pick up the Demogoth Titans, we could maybe main deck one and make 11 1/1s. Not sure about that. This pack just isn't great. Maybe just take a random campus guide. But Witherbloom now seems a little bit cut off from what I'm seeing. But overall, it was pretty open in my first pack, so not going to complain. I mean, seeing these late cards is a sign Witherbloom is still open. Maybe it's just a bad Witherbloom pack, to be honest. How good is Axis Tunnel? Better in Silver Quill. Not going to be amazing in our deck. Don't mind just throwing in a random Reckless Amplimancer into the sideboard. Maybe we play as a filler 2-drop if we have to. But this pack wasn't great for us, so hopefully next pack we can get something better. Maybe we splash blue, we'll see. Alright, late blue cards. So maybe Quandrix was open, not sure. There wasn't too many amazing Silver Quill cards, so I don't feel about that. But it seems like Quandrix is kind of open in this pod. But again, I think we're committed to black. And then yeah, another Blood Researcher and Flunk. Flunk just has to be the more efficient pick, I think. But now at this point in the game, it's kind of like what we need, not necessarily what's at the higher power level. And yeah, it's probably still the Flunk here. It's just too efficient. I also don't mind a Pest Summoning or a Blood Researcher still, but Flunk has to be the better card. Also wouldn't mind Witherbloom Pledge Mage on 5, which would also be fantastic. Yeah, I have to take the Flunk here. I think it's just too good. And then we'll take Dina over Mage Hunter's Onslaught, over Rise of Exodus and Pest Summoning, just as a way to drain them out. I mean, might actually prefer maybe another Rise or Pest, but Dina's just too good, and hopefully one of these cards can wheel. And then another Demogoth could be fine if we had more 1/1 tokens, but we don't. The Containment Breach could be a fine lesson, but I also don't mind ensuring that we have a solid 4-drop here with the Professor of Zoomancy. I don't know if I want second Demogoth Woe Eater, because the sacrifice could be a lot worse than we imagine. Since if we just end up sacrificing all of our pests, it's not going to be great. We still have 1, 2, 3, I guess still 4 ways to learn and only 2 lessons. Containment Breach is alright, but there's a chance I wheel it, so I think I just want the Professor here as a good 4-drop. And then I guess I'll take my Fractal Summoning now, given I have 2 Professors and a Spectre of Fens already. Village Rites could also be okay, but now I can take the Fractal Summoning here. And then maybe take a second Unwilling Ingredient, not sure if I'll play 2. Could be fine, but don't know if it's necessary. And just need maybe 2 more playables. Hoping that Blood Researcher wheels. I would like at least 2 copies in this deck, and it's going to be quite insane. But a Campus is nice over the Annihilation, since we really need mana focusing in this deck. Skirt Colony's okay. Don't really like the Skirt Colony, since we're not looking to ramp, and we have a bunch of stuff to play on too already. So I actually believe it's actually the second Witherbloom Campus to fix our mana over the token and over the rest of these other cards. We'll have a Blackish Trotch on turn 3. Blackish Trudge, I mean, on turn 3, which would also be reasonable. Blackish Trudge, I mean. Yeah, maybe we just don't want Deadly Brew. It seems kind of bad. Like, we could sack a Pest token, but, I mean, we're better off with, like, I guess, now I don't mind the Karak Wrangler as a good 5-drop, but we're better off with maybe double Infuse with Vitality, since it just gains us life instead. And I guess that can beat a Snakeskin Veil, which is fine. Ooh, okay, Blood Researcher Wheels, that's really awesome. So the double Infuse looks a lot better, with giving us extra life gain and ways to save our Blood Researcher. Can even main deck Crushing Disappointment if we want to. Not sure if I want to, though, since we're at 23 playables. Don't care about any of these other cards. Take a Moldering Karak. Maybe take a main deck of Village Rites, we'll see. Snakeskin Veil seems alright, I don't hate it. Okay, so what do you think about this deck? Seems pretty solid. I can even run away with 16 lands by cutting the Leyline Invocation, since we don't seem to be ramping. So I could even cut this, and then cut a land and go 16 lands, and then play some cheap creatures in this deck if I want to. And in that case, I could also add in like Village Rites or Crushing Disappointments. So I do like the 6, I do like the 4s, I do like the double Blood Researchers. We have Flunk as interaction. We have Agonizing Remorse could be filler. I don't mind Essence Infusion too with double Unwilling Ingredient, can be a pretty nice combo. I like Fortifying Draught in this deck, and double Infuse of Vitality could be great. So our creature curve doesn't look fantastic, so that's definitely something that we're kind of weak on. So these are the cards that we're obviously happy to main deck in the library. Again, I don't mind double Essence Infusion. Although it's not really good with Pest tokens, but it can be a fine, like, replacing over Snakeskin Veil, since the life gain could matter, and also just brings back our creature. So what cards are we interested in main decking? Don't think this is a Tend to Pest type of deck. Deadly Brew could be reasonable. Maybe we do play a Leyline Invocation at the top end. Don't really like the Reckless Amplimancer, could play Snakeskin Veil. Could throw in a Crushing Disappointment, could throw in Agonizing Remorse, and could also throw in Village Rites, which could be okay. I guess if we want a main deck, I guess the Village Rites is an improvement over the Crushing Disappointment, since it's just 1 mana draw 2 kind of in our deck with all these sack fodders. And then now with all the rest of these 3 cards, what do we want? Leyline Invocation seems okay, it can give us a decent top end threat, but it's not like we're ramping in too much. What's the game plan trying to do? We're just trying to chip away at the opponent's life total with 1/1s all day, and then just kind of drain them out, I guess. In this case, I mean, I don't mind a Deadly Brew, can bring back a permanent that we can sack. Although we are kind of light on permanents. Yeah, we are kind of light on permanents. I don't really like the Deadly Brew in this type of deck, which can be okay, but maybe we just play the Leyline Invocation, throw in the Snakeskin Veil, and an Agonizing Remorse in this deck. Agonizing Remorse can be a fine way to interact with the graveyard, snag the opponent's hand of a key threat. Village Rites can be a nice way to draw. Snakeskin Veil can be a nice way to protect one of our key playables. And then the Leyline Invocation gives us a decent top-end creature that we're kind of lacking in this type of deck. And then for our Learn cards, how many do we have? We have 4 Learn cards, and then how many lessons? We have 3 lessons, so it seems just about right for this type of deck. And then again, what can we consider in the sideboard? Again, Deadly Brew we just don't have too many permanents. Like making the opponent sack something and then bring back, like, I don't know, one of these creatures are all right. But again, our deck is just filled with all these token generators like pest summonings, inkling summonings, fractal summonings that I can rule this out. And again, I'm fine running 16 lands since we only have 2 6-drops, which aren't really amazing. And then if we can just grind and draw our lands naturally into late game, that's great. Otherwise, if I want to add 17 lands, I'm kind of afraid of flooding due to the fact that I don't seem to have a lot of card advantage in this type of deck. And if I'm going to be cutting something with 16 lands, I think I might be cutting like a Village Rites or something, which I don't mind in this deck since it can gain us a ton of value. So I think I'm fine running 16 lands, just goes even split with our mana base, even though we're slightly favoring black. I guess we have 9 green sources here already, so maybe I can still afford to go down to 8 and then just play an extra black source and go 10 black sources, 8 green sources, which is reasonable and fine. Okay, let's try this, see how it goes. And then picture probably Demogoth Wool Eater. Alright, 2-drop into Hunt. Ooh, Essence Infusion with Blood Researcher seems pretty decent. And we can also sack the Pest token to enable the Blood Researcher. So this seems pretty decent. Ooh, Dina. Do I want to play Dina first? Probably not. Probably want to get my Hunt for Specimens online. And then Blood Researcher. And then the question is, what do I learn? Maybe just a Pest Summoning token. And then save Dina for later when I can enable the life gain synergies. Inkling Summoning is fine too, but I think I'd rather have my first Pest Summoning, not sure. I mean, I can't really cast the Inkling because I need double black, so probably just take the Pest Summoning here. So I probably want to drop these later. Lorehold Excavation, okay, so he's gonna start gaining life. So it's gonna become a grindy game that we're gonna be playing. So let's see, by playing Blood Researcher, I do dodge removal for a turn. So maybe I'm fine just playing the Pest Summoning. Next turn we can maybe play Blood Researcher, keep up Village Rites perhaps. Or play Dina in essence, but probably want to play the Blood Researcher first. And this plays around an Igneous Inspiration on 3, which can be kind of scary. And this also plays around Heated Debate in a sense, since if he tries to kill Blood Researcher, I can just sack Blood Researcher and gain some value instead. Okay, let's move to combat. Get in for some chip damage. Lorehold Excavation is going to become a problem later if he keeps, if he stabilizes, since he can just make 3/2s every day, all day, so this seems fine. And probably going to cast the Blood Researcher here. And then keep up Village Rites. Can even Village Rites a token end of turn if he doesn't kill the Blood Researcher, so I can grow this. But I might want to save the village rights with Dina as well. Mila, okay. So I probably don't want to grow here. So now what? I guess I might want to Dina and then attack with all, keep up village rights, or I guess I want to just attack first. If there's a chance he could have Expel, but I don't think I can play around it, so I think I just attack for 5 here. This takes 5 mana to exile, so I'm fine. And then if he tries to kill Blood Researcher, I can still get value off of the village rights. And then I'll play the Dina here. And then say go. Can even sack a pest token end of turn. I can make this into a 4/4 if I want to. So if he tries to answer Blood Researcher, what do I do here? Pigment Storm, I guess I could sack it. Or Village Rights. Let me see. So I could sack Dina and Drain here, but it doesn't do anything. I think I'll Village Rights just to get some value. And then maybe we Essence Infusion onto a Pest Summoning token. Or just cast the Karok Wrangler and then attack. I can cast another Blood Researcher. I guess I can Blood Researcher, Essence Infusion, and go for an aggressive turn this turn instead of setting up the Karok Wrangler, which is okay, but I'm kind of liking this turn here where I just play Blood Researcher, Essence Infusion, move the combat, attack, and then keep up the activating ability of Dina, and therefore I can get these life gain triggers going. And then I can always stack a Pest Summoning end of turn, and grow the Blood Researcher and also drain him with Dina, so that's pretty nice, okay? Opponent played nothing but Lorehold Excavation the whole entire game and did absolutely nothing. I guess he had a Pigment Storm, but that was pretty much it. It's kind of interesting what people are building nowadays. Okay, we have Flunk on turn 2. It doesn't seem like a great hand, but still serviceable. Maybe we can use Infuse to save Blood Researcher. It seems okay-ish. Especially on the play, I don't really want to mull. It would be nice if we have Hunts for Specimens on turn 2, of course. Or an Agonizing Remorse, that's even better. Always nice to have some hand disruption. And what do we see? Emergent Sequence seems scary. I think Emergent Sequence has to go. Yeah, it's just too scary having the ramp into a Leyline Invocation, so that disruption is really nice. And then he's just going to cast a Cramp Session. Hunt would have been great, but we'll just play a Blood Researcher here on curve. Can attack with the Blood Researcher next turn, enable Fortifying Draught. Which I don't mind because he is missing out on his land drops. Demogorgon Woe Eater is pretty interesting too. But I don't mind just using Fortifying Draught and Hunt for Specimens here. And I definitely think I'm attacking. Probably say the Draught in case he has a fight spell. But if he double blocks, I'm still fine with using this Pump Trick since this becomes a pretty large and it also gains a counter, which is definitely valuable against an opponent that's missed out on his ramp, so this is fine. And we'll cast some for Specimens here. And Then we want to grab, I guess, Pest Summoning, since we do have a Demogoth Woe Eater. Also, Inkling Summoning will also be fine, giving us an evasive threat that we might want to cast. Overall, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, Pest just has a lot more synergy with Demogoth, and it can definitely get out of hand, so I think I like this instead, and we'll pass the turn. If I see a Mage Duel, I can always Fortifying Draught, of course. So hopefully no Mage Duel here, but yeah, I don't think the opponent's crazy enough to play into it. Missed a land drop, so that's kind of problematic. I'm hoping I can recover from it, so we'll see. I might just block this 1-1, make this into a 3-3. That's actually not a bad idea. Could also use the draw to kill this, but to save my pest, but I think I like just trading here. It seems pretty decent. And this becomes a 3-3, which is nice. And the damage does add up, so we'll see go. No lands. I guess I'm forced to play like a Pest Summoning here. Then I can attack for 3. Hopefully no Mage Duel. But if he wants to tap out for Mage Duel, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, just missing on my lands. That sucks. Probably going to see a Burying Books here, so probably don't want to attack. Make him pay 5 mana for it. But I think I need to be aggressive, so I think I'm just going to attack here. Yup. And we'll say go. The Leyline Invocation is going to become a problem, but I can give one of my Pest tokens Death Touch. So we'll see what happens here. Field Trip, okay, he's going to be more greedier. So this Leyline Infusion is going to be quite large, so I probably need to save the Death Touch trick to deal with this, otherwise it's going to become a problem. Probably see a Burying Books here. We'll say go. Snakeskin Veil, that's pretty good. I think I'm fine moving in combat then. If he tries to bury, I'll just use Snakeskin Veil. If not, this is also pretty decent. Missing my land drops is not where I want to be, so not feeling good about this. But maybe I can just try to squeeze my way in for a victory. Not sure. We can always block a giant token and then use Snakeskin Veil to deal with it. An 8/8 Leyline Invocation, wow. Yep. Guess I'm fine attacking into this using Infuse. Not sure here. So I can make this into a 5/5 and flunk, give this -3/-3. Not sure if that's worth it. We'll say go. And we can't seem to find a land to save our lives. So this is bad. So what do I do here? I could attack with a 3/3, but he doesn't even need to do anything here. I could Essence Infusion onto the 3/3, attack for 5. He's probably going to double block this. And then I can infuse, doesn't seem great either. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess. I can give this -3/-3, make this into a 5/5. Yeah, I don't think this is good. I mean, I could infuse, make this into a 5/5, he attacks. I use a Fortifying Draught, this becomes a 6/6. I guess it can also give him the extra bonus life. So this becomes, I guess, a 5/5 into a 7/7, but still dies to the 8/8. I still think I'm going to attack and use the Infuse of Vitality here, and I still have Snakeskin Veil to keep up, so I think this is worth it. And if he takes it, then I think we're fine saying go. And then I can discard Karok Wrangler, since it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Wow, he only attacks with 2/2. Very interesting. I think I'm fine letting that resolve. And then we'll see what's up. A Professor. Okay, I guess I can block my Blood Researcher now. I could also flunk it end of turn, maybe that's fine. Yeah, maybe flunking this end of turn is okay. Since I need to use my mana, I need to get rid of these annoying double blockers, which can be kind of annoying, so we'll just say go. Second Infuse could be fine. Maybe I'm fine attacking with both now. If he double blocks, I just cast Infuse. And that way I can get into extra point of damage, which could be really reasonable, so I think I go for it here. And I can always infuse my 1/1 tokens if I want to. I could draw it here, but I think the damage here is fine. And I can also Essence Infusion if I want to. And then keep up Snakeskin Veil. I think that's okay, because I do need to use my mana here. He can make another large Fractal Summoning token, but maybe I'm fine just using this on the Blood Researcher. Maybe I'm fine just making this into a 3/3 and diversifying. This way, if he decides to double block my Blood Researcher, I can still kill both tokens and go from there. And if he has removal, I can always use against Snakeskin Veil to defend. But yeah, we missed too many land drops this game. Like, I think we just drew like 5 spells in a row and we're still ahead, kind of. I mean, we're about to lose here if we don't draw a single land at this point, but what can I do? Are we going to actually win the game with 3 lands? This might just be the game where we just win with 3 lands. I'm not joking here. Guess I'm fine taking 10, and then if the opponent plays a large token, I can just kill the Fortifying Draught and go from there. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping he actually taps out here. We'll see. Okay, so it's a Burying Books, that's fine. I think I'm fine saying go. So we basically win here, so what we can do is we can attack with the 4/4, and then when he tries to Burying Books, I can just Snakeskin Veil and kill him for lethal. Yeah, I think we have it here. Let's attack. He's going to use the Burying Books. Yeah, we're going to Fortifying Draught here. And this forces the Burying Books, and then I can Snakeskin Veil this. If he counters this, what happens? I can still maybe infuse with Vitality and grow this. So yeah, so now it's just game over. And then it's just GG's, good games. I can also infuse here for the laughs. So I can show him I had the Death Touch trick. Wow. One with 4 lands against a Quandrix deck. I think the opponent just stayed back and maybe forced me to use my Infuse with Vitalities. So he definitely played it a little bit too safe there, I think. Kind of surprised that he just did. So wow, 1 with 4 lands. You don't see that much often. So yeah, Blood Researcher is definitely a premier common in the Witherbloom decks. Otherwise, it's just hard to close out. Hunt, okay. Into Agonizing Remorse, maybe. We'll try this. Or maybe I want an Agonizing Remorse first. Really depends. With white mana, probably find casting Hunt for specimens, and if I get a land drop, I can still bully ingredients and cast a Pest Summoning. I like the Pest Summoning with the Demogoth Woe Eater, and hopefully we can draw into some lands this game, unlike the last game where we just got away with 4 lands somehow magically. Land, please. All right, finally we got a land here. So I'm probably fine sniping the hand here, and then cast an Unwilling Ingredient. Okay, Divine Strike, Pledge Mage is annoying, but so is the Allen Shield Mage. Both cards are reasonably annoying. I think Allen Shield Mage is going to become the bigger problem, and we can always deal with the Pledge Mage with one, so I think I like this. And the opponent's just flooding here, so that's good. Essence Infusion. That's quite a fun card. But I think I'm fine just being mana efficient here and then just casting the Pest Summoning. And if he wants to fly over with a Divine Strike, that's also fine. Essence Infusion onto this 1/1 Unwilling Ingredient actually makes it into a real threat. So I might do that next turn, and then if I get a land, I'm probably going to drop the Demogoth, of course. And I'm fine with him gaining flying and hitting me for 4. Stonerise Spirit is a little bit annoying. Even a Professor's Warning to give lifelink, that's kind of cute. Okay, so now it's a good flunk target. Infuse with Vitality. Could just attack with all, cast Infuse. Maybe I just cast an Essence Infusion instead, put it on the token. That could be reasonable. Attack for 4, gain some life on the way. Seems okay. And then I could double block the Silver Quill Pledge Mage, which isn't all that bad if you think about it. I do lose 2 tokens, but it's pretty reasonable. So I could flunk, cast Infuse with Vitality. I think I'm fine attacking with maybe casting Demogoth Woe Eater. Although Infuse and attacking with all these 1/1s isn't really that bad. Or maybe I can just flunk this. You know what, let's get the Demogoth Woe Eater online. Fine attacking for 1 with the Unwilling Ingredient, offering to trade for the 3/1. And sure, he can maybe chain together for some spells, but I can attack him for 7, which is a lot. Okay, that's fine. Probably gonna flunk the creature that he gives lifelink to. So opponent's just gonna try to kill me quickly. Fine sacrificing this. Move the combat, fine attacking with these 3. And then we're gonna flunk whatever he decides to give flying, I guess. I mean, if he wants to put all of his eggs in one basket, that's fine with me. And then we'll just cast another Unwilling Ingredient, which is okay. And then we can always sacrifice a Demogoth Woe Eater if we think we're running out of life. Essence Infusion, that's so annoying, Jesus. So he's gonna gain a ton of life and hit us for 5. We can probably use the Essence Infusion just to gain some life as well. That could be reasonable. Fine sacrificing maybe a Pest token. He can give this flying, which is really annoying. Yeah, this is rough. He's probably just gonna give this flying. I can maybe Essence Infusion end of turn or fall to 1. I mean, Infuse with Vitality, I mean. But although he's gonna be down to 8, so he needs a way to kill me this turn. And I still can gain 2, so hopefully no insane top deck. So I guess he's gonna try to chump block with the 1/1. Yeah, he's gonna try to do this. Might just cycle this just to gain 2 life, might be worth it. And I can still be brought to 11 life. Yeah, because I might need to tap out for something else next turn, so I think I'm gonna cycle and Infuse with Vitality here. And then say go. And then we're gonna sacrifice an Unwilling Ingredients. And just a bunch of lands, not good. Yeah, I guess I just need to attack for lethal here. Maybe I do keep one Unwilling Ingredient back in case he doesn't pick up anything with a Magecraft. And if he does pick up something with Magecraft, I'm hoping it's not a pump spell. I guess he can always just block the 3/3 here and fall to 1, but you know, dealing 7 is a lot here, so. What's this? Okay, probably just gonna play land and then hopefully infuse and survive. I'm hoping he doesn't draw any Magecraft here. Okay, that's good. So we can block the Silver Quill Pledge Mage and use infuse and take him out. But yeah, we got him. Pretty close game. Could maybe remorse and disrupt his curve by taking out the Witherbloom Apprentice, but I mean either way, the Allen Shield Mage I think would have been worse for us to deal with since he was already flooding. Agonizing Remorse on 2 or Overgrown Arch. I think I like this. If we can turn 3 into Blood Researcher, it's even more insane. Probably leave the Overgrown Arch for the highest upside. Although, I mean, I can always answer whatever threat he puts on the ground, so I think this is okay. And then if I get Blood Researcher, it's even more insane. So I'm fine with this. Reflective Golem, can always flunk this if I want to be safe, although Flunk doesn't answer it this turn, so probably just fine casting an Agonizing Remorse and maybe deal with any ways to pump. Show of Confidence, Closing Statement is kind of scary. Make Your Mark, not as much. Show can be pretty annoying. I think it's probably just Closing Statement since he can just, it's just really annoying. It's probably the best card in his hand anyway, so I think this is fine. And then we'll say go. Gain a life end of turn, maybe cast Professor. You can eventually show and copy it, which can be pretty stupid. Combat Professor. So I might want to keep up a flunk, just in case he tries to cast the Show of Confidence, or just flunk the Reflective Golem. Yeah, we do need to maybe get the 6 mana to deal with whatever he decides to play. So probably fine using Flunk on Reflective Golem. Next turn can definitely be kind of scary. Maybe I'm fine having him pay mana just to replicate his spells. And if this gains a counter, it's okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's just say go. Keep up the Flunk. If he plays land, he might he might, so let's see. He might just cast Make Your Mark here. And this is also an instant, so he can respond to it, so kind of interesting. If I block this, I force a Make Your Mark. Which I'm fine with, and then if he tries to Make Your Mark, I can Flunk in response. He can maybe cast Show of Confidence on Combat Professor twice, and then maybe once I get to land 6, I can maybe take this out. I think I'm blocking him and forcing to make Your Mark. We'll see if he wants to copy. And he actually wants to copy it and put it onto, I guess. Okay, that's very interesting. Why did he decide to target my Make Your Mark? Sure. And then this is about to resolve. I mean, I probably don't want that to resolve, otherwise he gets a token, so maybe just cast a Flunk here in response. And then I guess he gets to save his Show of Confidence. I guess he can Show of Confidence now, and then put 2 counters onto the Combat Professor, which I can eventually answer with a Rise of Exodus. So I think I'm fine with this play here. So he's going to Show of Confidence twice onto this, which I can eventually answer with my 6-drop, so I think I'm fine with this exchange. And since I know about Rise of Exodus, I can also play around the Rise by playing, I guess, the Professor of Zoomancy instead. I can also sack this to learn, but I think I just like the incremental life gain with all this damage that I'm taking. Then if I'm playing land into Professor, make a 1/1. Could even Village Rites to 1/1 end of turn to ensure I get my 6 land drop to eventually exile this, so that seems fine. So I'm actually not hating this. I guess I can also get value by Village Riting whatever he tries to kill. And then also it will fizzle the Rise of Exodus. So yeah, I think I want to gain life here. And then I just want to cast Village Rites on my Overgrown Arch. So that this will also fizzle the Learn spell. It does get to exile my spell though, so I guess he still gets to Learn. But then I can cast my own Rise to Exodus, take out the Combat Professor. And then we can take over the game. And then what do we want to grab? Probably, not sure. We do have a flyer already, maybe an Inkling Summoning to have more defense against flyers. Yeah, I don't actually hate the Inkling Summoning here. And we can also attack back for 5, which is nice. Could cast Karok Wrangler first for more defense. But I'm liking just playing the Leyline Invocation as just a giant 6/6 or a 7/7. It's just a more tempo and more damage. And it allows us to close the game more quickly if he doesn't have chump blockers. So we'll take 4, and that's still a 5-turn clock. So opponent still has a long way to take us out. I guess Star People can chump for a turn. Blood Researcher, Karok Wrangler. I could also just drop the Blood Researcher, play a 4-drop. I actually don't hate that. Play a 4-drop, play Blood Researcher, and then I'm also fine trading a token because the Blood Researcher can grow, so I don't actually mind this all-out attack here. He chumps here, blocks my 1/1, I get to gain a life with the Blood Researcher. I guess he doesn't want me to gain a life, so that's fine. I can take 5, maybe keep my flyers back next turn or drain them out. Yep, he's just dead here, so... Alright, 4-0, wow, with a solid Witherbloom 16 lands deck. So definitely don't sleep on the archetypes in the set. I still think Witherbloom is tier 2, along with Lorehold. I mean, I think the right Witherbloom deck and the right Lorehold deck is tier 2. And they require a lot more work than the Quandrix and Silver Quill decks. But I still think with the right payoffs and the correct choices and picks for building the deck, you can still make it like close to tier 1, like maybe tier 2 plus. So definitely, it's always reasonable to kind of stay open in the draft to find out where you belong, and you'll always have a pretty strong deck in this set, which definitely beats Ikoria, where you're always leaning towards cycling and always drafting red. Okay, Lash of Malice, Agonizing Remorse. Okay, I mean, it's okay. There's no creatures, but if we have a creatures, we can maybe lock an Essence Infusion into it. But on the play, I like the Agonizing Remorse, so I'll keep it with both of our colors. So just need to hit some creatures and land drops, and we should be fine. This is pretty good. You know what? I might just want to play this out, actually. Like, I could snipe his hand and get, like, an Elemental. I guess that's a good creature to kill end of turn, so don't mind doing that. And now I can Agonizing Remorse. And then what do I want to grab here? Ooh, this is a good one. Wow, these are all really good cards. Which one is the scariest? The Wandering Archaic is annoying. Essence Infusion is annoying. Same with the Mage Duel. Wandering Archaic is probably the most annoying one because we don't have enough lands to pay for it, so I think we actually ditch the Wandering Archaic here. And just have him flood out just like what we are doing. I can at least play Spectre and Essence Infusion. Blood Researcher is scary. Darn, so what can I do here? So if I play the Spectre Fence, he's just gonna Essence Infusion and then Mage Duel away my Spectre Fence, so that doesn't seem good. Yeah, I guess I just need to get beaten up by a Blood Researcher here and just say go. So maybe the right choice was taking away the Essence Infusion, but didn't know he was going to top deck a Blood Researcher, to be honest. Is there a way to play around the Essence Infusion? Maybe having a large creature could work. But yeah, this is just going to win him the game. Over time, I can at least hunt for specimens, I guess. I can always Spectre and fizzle it with the rights, but I think Hunt is good here. Wow, Necrocoons would also be very awesome if we can make that happen, but I'm probably just going to take the Pest Summoning here and maybe set up a wall of blockers with Village with the Essence Infusion. We'll see. Yeah, but that Mage Duel is annoying. But so was Wandering Archaic. Now we have our own Blood Researcher, so he might just fight our own Blood Researcher and we might sack it in response. I actually don't hate that. So we can get a bit of value. Could also grow my Blood Researcher. I mean, I could Essence Infusion here too, don't know. I think we might need Spectre to help us close out, so I'm probably going to be playing the Blood Researcher here, maybe forcing the Village Rites to blow out his Mage Duel, and then just say go. I can also let him kill this. And if he has removal, I mean, I might as well use the Village Rites now to get value. Maybe take another 5, and then hopefully we can find an answer to this problem next turn. Or maybe I can just gain some life with an Essence Infusion and swing back somehow. Probably fine taking 5 still, and then hopefully next turn we find an answer, because this is a huge problem. Now you can see the power of Blood Researcher and these and the life gain synergies is pretty busted. Even a Fractal Summoning to get back. And we're definitely in a rough fucking spot, so what do we do? Guess all we can really do is maybe force a Mage Duel on our creature, gain some life for a turn, and go from there. I could Spectre an Essence Infusion, but he's just going to end up killing my Spectre Offense. This will put it down to 1 life, but that's not really what I want to be in. So maybe I'm fine playing the Unwilling Ingredients here. And then putting an Essence Infusion onto it, forcing him to use Mage Duel, and then I guess he's forced to stay back still. Maybe that's fine, and then I can cycle away the Unwilling Ingredient end of turn. So I don't know about this play. I could have also put it on the 1/1 attack, but then he would chumped. I would have gained 3 life, but then it doesn't really get me anywhere. At least this forces him to stay back. And I can still cycle this end of turn and draw a card. But yeah, the top deck Blood Researcher got us really badly. And if he's going to Mage Duel, at least I could cycle this away. I guess he can use the 4/4 to fight now. That's really annoying. Okay, I guess we're forced to chump. But might want to draw first and see what's up. Professor is okay, but I'll double block this and take 1, I think. Since I might need the extra chump block against the 5/3, which is really scary. Maybe I can get like an Infusive Vitality as a random pump trick, but as I say that, we get absolutely nothing, so just gonna play my Professor and chump the 5/4, I think, and take 1, and then say go. Fine double blocking the 5/5 since it's just going to get out of hand. Yeah, I think I'm double blocking this and chumping the 4/4. Otherwise, we're not going to be winning. Guess I can play Spectre and then say go, and then take 4, and then maybe drain him. I need a good top deck here. Flunk is a good one. Alright. Guess I just want to flunk main phase. I mean, I probably want to flunk main phase since he's light on cards. And then I guess I might as well attack for 2 and take a risk. Yeah, I think I'm fine attacking for 2 here, and then I can always drain him end of turn because I do need to race here. I should maybe play around a pump spell, but this is fine. Honor Troll, sure. I can block this for days and keep draining him so he never gets to 4 toughness. So I might be able to steal this game if I top deck correctly, of course. And I keep drawing lands. I guess I don't mind just constantly activating Spectre Fence. We'll stay back. And then hopefully the opponent doesn't top deck into some insane stuff. Also, opponent is missing a campus, so he's not necessarily in the best position here. Rise of Exodus. I might want to save Rise of Exodus here, or maybe not. Rise of Exodus can be pretty good against some crazy bombs, so maybe I'm fine staying back here still. And saving Rise of Exodus against something scarier, like a Blood Researcher, which I'm fine now blocking the 1-1 with. Yeah, I think I'm fine blocking the 1-1 now. And then before damage, I'm fine with draining him. And then using Rise of Exodus on the 2-2 seems fine. He does gain double life, which is a little bit annoying, but I think I'm still fine with that. And then yeah, this turn is nice. We'll get rid of the Mortality Spear, or maybe I should have gotten rid of Fractal Summoning, not sure. Can grab a Fractal Summoning at this stage of the game, can cast Hunt for Specimens, and then we can just say go. I also grab all of our lessons, and then just say go. Yeah, we'll say go. Block the Honor Troll. And wow, we managed to win. Jesus. Close game, the opponent with the 5-5 Blood Researcher. But the Spectre Fens managed to help us stabilize, and yeah, that's all you really need to do. And we're currently 5-0. Let's keep this up. So that top deck flunk was great. Okay, turn 2, Agonizing Remorse. What can go wrong? This is one of the best cards you can just have on turn 2. Yeah, let's just play it on turn 2 right away. Okay, Lightning Bolt is pretty annoying. Illustrious Historian is also really annoying. All these Learn cards are really annoying. Probably just take the Lightning Bolt. I think it's just the scariest card in his hand. He's going to play a 2-drop. We can always flunk it or put a 1-1 in front of it, which I'm fine with. Probably going to save the flunk. If he wants to Enthusiastic Study and just learn. I mean, I guess he's missing his lands, so he might just cast First Day of Class end of turn. Don't necessarily want to flunk any of these. I think I want to build a board and then cast the flunk when he decides to do some sort of attack. So I think I'm fine with this, and then I'm fine taking 4 because he has an Enthusiastic Study that I don't want to run into. And then I can play the Blood Researcher, keep a flunk next turn, and if I could, yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm probably going to stay back here. Could block with a 1-1, but he has an Enthusiastic Study, so I don't want to force it this turn. I can swing back for 4, and then if he tries to use it on the Thunderous Orator, then I can flunk it in response, which is also pretty reasonable. He might just cast it here. I guess that's fine. At least he doesn't get to run us over, and I probably need to keep a flunk to play around some sort of combat trick, so let's just play the Blood Researcher, keep everything efficient. Say go. Would love the Overgrown Art, but I need to keep up the flunk here. It's going to be too important at blowing him out, otherwise I might just get run over by this opponent. Ooh, Twin Scroll Shaman, I guess I don't mind blowing him out using a flunk next turn. Another Blood Researcher would be amazing. I guess I'll just keep playing Blood Researchers and then keep up flunk. Could also attack, but I don't think I want to. Sunrise, Stonerise Spirit, okay. Yeah, the opponent's just playing around with my stuff. I'll take 2 in the air, sure. And if I get a land, I might take Spectre Fens just to block the flyer, which could be reasonable. I guess it gives it double strike. Alright, that's scary. Let's just play the Overgrown Arc and see what's up. Yeah, this might just be an opponent we lose to if he goes all out onto this. Yeah, the counters are really scary. So I might want to take out the Twin Scroll Shaman. Yeah, he's just going to get flying anyway, so I probably want to take out the Twin Scroll Shaman. I mean, the Thunderous Orator this turn. He probably knows I have a removal spell as well, which is really annoying. Yeah, I probably need to flunk this. And then he just has a million counters to put onto his flyers, which is really annoying. Quite upsetting. I can maybe survive a turn. Gain life and attack. Yeah, this is annoying. Yeah, I'll just be taking too much damage from this stupid thing, so I might have to chump and stay back. Maybe I'm fine attacking with a Blood Researcher here, but he just gets some good blocks, so I'm just gonna say go. And then if I can survive one more turn, I might want to keep up Infuse instead, but we'll see. I mean, if he loads up a counter onto one creature, I can still block the other one. If he attacks with both, I'm going to be a little bit suspicious. It's going to be a little bit suspicious with his attack. As much as I hate to say it, I mean, it's definitely a weird one. So it does imply a combat trick, so maybe I just take it here. If he has Beaming Defiance, what happens? I guess I still stay alive for a whole turn. So maybe it's fine taking it. Either way, if I lose my creature, I'm in bad shape. I don't mind falling down to 1, but I mean, what can I do here? Like, there's nothing I can really do in this scenario. So, yeah, just got owned by a bunch of pump spells. Not much you can do. And I took too much damage from the Thunderous Orator. Forgot it had first strike, so maybe I should have killed it earlier instead with the flunk, instead of messing around. So maybe that would have bought me one more turn to maybe start growing the Blood Researchers. But yeah. First loss, okay, 5-1. But overall, I can see doing some really insane things with our Witherbloom, our mid-range Witherbloom deck. If the opponent doesn't out aggro us. So not quite 7-0, but maybe 7-1. Opening hand, 1-drop, 2-drop into maybe a 3-drop seems good, and I don't mind just playing Hunt for Specimens since Dina is not going to be great until later, since I don't really have ways to trigger life gain with her, and just curving out Hunt into to the Pest Summoning seems good. Although Agonizing Remorse is great, but I still think I'm going to leave with Hunt for Specimens here. Just grab a bunch of Pest tokens, since curving out with Demogoth is quite insane. So hopefully no insane 2-drop, like the 2-mana ramp creature, which is kind of scary. Needlethorn Drake is alright. I can get down with that. So might want to just Agonizing Remorse now, although Pest Summoning is also good here. And if I do get a land into Demogoth, it's even better, so I think I'm fine with this. And then we can attack for 2. Although this is going to hold off my Demogoth, so it's kind of annoying, to be honest. So a Temur control deck, usually quite a scary combination. Don't mind Agonizing Remorse here, actually. To see what's up. Maybe should have kept the black, but maybe I'm fine developing the Unwilling Ingredient. Because I don't want to really waste a fortifying. Okay, I mean, at least that trades for decisive denial, so it's actually not that bad. Like, imagine this agonizing remorse actually snipes the decisive denial, but I don't lose the extra life. So that's actually not bad at all. So I think I'm fine with this. Close at 13 life. Wow. So these 1/1s don't mess around. Yeah, these 1/1s don't mess around, folks. But he can easily stabilize with a wide board. We'll see. Let's move to combat. Fine, losing a pest summoning token here. He can also use a Bearing Books. So he probably has an Arcane Subtraction, which I'm fine trading for. Although it's going to be pretty annoying, since he can keep back the Demogoth Woe Eater. So I might not want to play the Demogoth Woe Eater. Might be better off maybe playing Dina and offering a trade. I can. What does this do? It doesn't really do anything. Okay. I guess maybe I should Dina main phased and take it from there. But Demogoth Woe Eater is just more mana efficient, so I think I'll play it anyways. And I'm fine sacrificing an Unwilling Ingredients next turn, and then or a 1/1, but I do like the life gain from Dina, not gonna lie. Wow, Lightning Bolt on a 1/1, Jesus. He really wants to get rid of my pest. That's fine. So I can probably swing with the Unwilling Ingredients. I do want to drain him out with Dina with the extra life gain. But attacking for 2 here is also nice. Yeah, you know what? Let's stack the pest summoning tokens. And then threaten to keep it back. Cast Dina. And then move to combat. We can attack with both, since it just trades for a Needle Thorn Drake, which I'm happy trading for. We can always just sack the Demogoth Woe Eater. End of turn. Do I really want to sack an Unwilling Ingredient? It's actually not that bad. So maybe I can draw into more stuff, sure. Sack the Unwilling Ingredient here. Maybe sack the Woe Eater end of turn as well, we'll see. Really interesting spot here. Maybe he has a counter spell for my Village Rites. Test of Talents, that's actually kind of cute. Sure. So maybe I just want to sack Demogoth since this 1/1 is just in the way all day. And then maybe just drain him out with Dina. And then make him discard a card. Yeah, I could, yeah. Let me see. So, upkeep, probably sack Demogoth or sack the Unwilling Ingredient for a turn still. Oh, maybe the extra card does matter, and the extra life drain from Dina matters. So maybe I'm fine saying go, and then on my upkeep, I'm fine sacrificing Woe Eater here to deal that extra point of damage, and then also draw a card. Wow, Bookworm, okay. Well, luckily we have a Flunk now, which would have been great last turn. So I guess I can play land. I can attack with the Unwilling Ingredient. And I guess I can also use Fortifying Draught if I'm kind of crazy. And he knows about it. So if I use Fortifying Draught, how much do I gain? I can pump this into a 4-power creature and then make him lose a life, so he might be scared here and might want to block the creature instead. So the question is, do I want to use Fortifying Draught on a 4/4? I guess I could have also flunked this main phase and went for it. Yeah, he's really scared here of this Unwilling Ingredients. This Bookworm is also really annoying. So, yeah, I guess it could have been a +4/+4, which would have been pretty scary. But I think I don't mind this trade here. It's a pretty good one. And then I'm fine cycling away an unwilling ingredient and keeping up flunk maybe. Go ice flunk end of turn. Sigo. Okay. So he's about to get to 8 mana for his worm, which is going to be pretty annoying as well. Maybe fine flunking this end of turn. We'll see. Yeah, we'll flunk it. Seems reasonable. And hopefully nothing here, but this opponent has a whole bag of tricks in his deck. Yeah, he probably drew into another Test of Talents or some annoying counter spell. Alright, opponent, hurry up. What do you have here? Another stupid pump trick. This is getting really annoying. Wow, blew some Zenith to draw a bunch of cards. Wow, are you fucking kidding me? What a piece of shit. How do I win this now? This is so annoying. I can attack, use Fortifying Draught, but then he just... I guess he needs to hit 8 mana for the Bookworm still. So technically speaking, I could still infuse with Vitality and attack and gain some life. Yeah, let's cast the Unwilling Ingredient here. You know what, let's attack and use Infuse, otherwise we're never going to have the chance to do it. It does put him down to 5. Jesus, a Blue Sun Zenith just to dodge a flunk. This guy has been negating all of our spells so far. So I can only hope he doesn't top deck anything, which is kind of difficult to imagine. But the moment he casts his Bookworm, it's pretty much game over. But yeah, if he plays a land into another land, cast Bookworm, it's probably going to be hard to win. Maybe I need a Spectre offense to maybe drain him out. So on that previous turn, maybe I should have flunked the Elemental Summoning and attack, but then he would have just cast Blue Sun Zenith in response regardless. I mean, he could just miss out on a land drop here and we can get really lucky. Pop quiz, okay. Maybe he has nothing but lands. I'm pretty sure he has to have a playable here. I guess he can gain life. God damn it. So close, but the opponent's just gonna Bookworm us. And that's gonna suck, so maybe I want to save the Draught for something else, but he knows about it already, so... Yeah, this is annoying. Now up to 7 life. Oh, he's drafting the busted Temur control decks with a Zamone. Maybe Spectre Fens can get there. Probably fine attacking with Zamone and then just dealing as much damage as possible. I'm actually fine with this exchange. Zamone's just gonna get out of hand. And then maybe we can cast Spectre and just drain him out, hopefully. I guess Spectre is GG. I mean, if he can't, I mean, he can still cast a Bookworm in game 3 and survive one more turn, but the Spectre is still going to get his life points pretty low. So this is essentially 6 damage with Dina, and I can put him down to 1 with the Spectre Fence. So I'm hoping he just doesn't have interaction or removal for the Spectre. So I'm actually hoping he actually casts a Bookworm this game. And he's just out of removal. I mean, he didn't... I think he would have killed Dina immediately if he had it. Are you kidding me? I don't think I should stack this. So he's going to buy himself a turn and maybe develop the board. I guess he's just gonna make a crappy elemental summoning. Frost Trickster, sure. So he's gonna play the slower game plan here. We're just gonna cast a Spectre or Crunch Wrangler. Karok Wrangler, I mean. It's not gonna beat a Bookworm, so I think we actually just drop the Spectre and start activating instead of being mana efficient, because it's not gonna deal with the Spectre the Bookworm anytime soon. This is not a game I don't think where we want to develop the board. This is a game where we just want to drain him out and kill him. Are you kidding me? Wow, even another fucking Burying Books. These blue decks are so freaking obnoxious. It's really insane how far these blue decks can go. Ooh, Professor's nice, so I can attack with Dina and also just sack a token. Ooh, I guess he's forced to block because I can kill him with the Professor by sacking it. That's really awesome, so now I can still sack the 1/1 token and take out the Frost Trickster, which is really nice. Alright. And now the Spectre can start getting in as well. So he really needs to cast a Bookworm this turn and hopefully find a removal spell to deal with my threats. Okay, so he gains 3 life. Which is annoying, but it is what it is. I could also have a turn where I just end up attacking with the Professor here. Attacking with Awe since he can only block 1 creature. So this is 6 damage if I can drain him for 2 turns. I guess it's lethal if he doesn't deal with the Spectre Fens. This deck looks really scary though. So this is why you should just force Quadrants. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna fizzle the learn card at least, so he doesn't get a lesson. What a joke. So close to winning and the opponent just top decks a fucking Ignis Inspiration out of nowhere. And then he just might play this to stay back and hit me for 7 maybe, we'll see. There could be an out. Maybe there's another way for me to just drain him to death with the life gain. We'll see. I guess now he can just thin out his library of lands and top deck into some powerful stuff. I don't know what can get me out here. Rise of Exodus top deck. Hunt is actually not that bad, so I can now play Karok Wrangler, play Hunt for Specimens, and I think I want to diversify my threats here and put a counter on the Karok Wrangler as well. And then I guess an Inkling Summoning can help me close out the game. He can make a large creature, I can chump, I can stay back and keep draining him. Hopefully this guy doesn't top deck like a god. That's usually how it is. They just top deck like gods and just win the game outright by just drawing all the removal spells. He thinned out his whole entire deck already, so he probably has his Magma Opus in his hand. I wouldn't doubt it here. So he really needs to put a creature because I can just kill him next turn, I think. Since I have like 5 powered up creatures, wow, 11/11, okay. It never ends. Guess this is fine, and I probably want to put a counter onto Professor. And then we can say go. Could scry my upkeep, but I don't know if it's necessary. He probably has a million playables at this point. Keeps a creature on top, that's not a good sign. We can still chump the 11/11 and drain him. which could also be okay. Yeah, we probably don't have enough mana to scry. That's fine. Hopefully no removal. I mean, I hate how he can just fight something here and take out my Dina, which is important. Wormhole, wow. Wormhole Serpent. Okay, so I definitely need to kill him quickly here. Yeah, I definitely need to kill him quickly, since he can just make all his creatures unblockable and kill me. So I could stack the 1/1 token to put into 7, but I don't think that's necessary, so we'll see go. Essence Infusion, okay. Yeah, we're definitely doing it. Okay, yeah. That was a really nice top deck. Is that lethal? It's not lethal yet. It's close. Yeah, it's really close. Yeah, we'll just say go. End of turn, we can stack the token, or and we just need one more pest token, I guess, to kill him. So if we grab another learn card and play a pest summoning, we can just stack the pest summoning and kill him. But yeah, quite happy that I main decked the Essence Infusion. But he really needs a top deck here. So hopefully he doesn't get lucky in top deck, like, I don't know, Magma Opus to finish this off. We still have 1 mana open to stack something end of turn. I don't know what this opponent's thinking. Is he double scrying? Okay, so this is a better sign. So he probably has some sort of cheat removal spell he wants to top deck to deal with my 5/4. So yeah, I think we're doing it, guys. We're actually gonna win. Okay, so he just needs to get a good top deck here, and then what can answer this? Maybe a heated debate. That's the only thing I can really think of that can answer this. Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna 7-1 against a broken Temur deck with all the insane stuff that we usually draft? So I might even be fine taking 11 from this Fractal token, to be honest. But yeah, I think he's just dead if he doesn't have removal for this, and 5/4 is not something to scoff at. Wow, when we got him, Jesus. Sweet. Alright, 6-1. 6-1, Jesus. It's not often that a tier 2 deck beats a tier 1 deck. But this is an example of when. Sometimes the synergies just get you there over the more powerful playables. And yeah, 6-1, we're definitely doing it. Witherbloom number 2. Let's give the final boss a spin, and hopefully we don't face against another broken Temur deck. I'd rather face against broken silver. I mean, I'd rather face against just a good silver cold deck, obviously, over the busted Temur deck. But yeah, that top deck Essence Infusion really got us there. He even dodged our flunk with the Blue Sun Zenith. Alright, final boss, 2-minute mark. Come on. Who's the final boss? Samuel Black? Nope, it's Marmo C9. Okay. Let's see what we have in store. And Hunt for Specimens, Blood Researcher. I think this is a good keep. Right. Do we hunt into Pest or do we hunt into Blood Researcher? The age-old question. Can also hide my green mana for now. Let's hunt. Yeah, it's an interesting question. The Inkling Summoning can provide damage over time, but Pest Summoning, as we saw from the last game, can also do some work. Since I do have a Professor already, maybe I'm fine grabbing the Inkling Summoning this time around. And then this just becomes a 2-1 that can start getting in, which is quite powerful. And either way, we don't even have life gain synergy with the Blood Researcher yet, so I think I'm fine just playing my summoning out. And probably want to leave a Professor next turn. Is this just going to be no, okay, so there's still a game. Still a game, guys. Don't worry. Essence Infusion. It's a little bit too cute for now. I think we want to play it safe and develop the board. Play the Professor, attack for 2. And then go from there. Could always chump the Professor, but I want to chump once I get the Blood Researcher down because it's just going to add up. Okay, that's going to become a problem. Can play a second Professor. Can infuse an attack for 4, but he probably has removal lined up, so probably fine playing out the second Professor, just develop the board while 2-1 starts getting in. And I'm probably fine taking some hits because I want to maybe drop my Blood Researcher down before I chump. Golden Ratio, so Quandrix deck, okay. Alright, that's always scary, drawing 3 cards, that's really insane, Jesus. Yeah, 3 cards can go a long way, and a Quandrix Pledge Mage, which I'm down to just flunk, to be honest. Since if he's just going to be playing all these cards, it's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with this later. And yeah, if he's going to be drawing cards, it's going to be difficult dealing damage, so I think I'm going to flunk this Quandrix Pledge Mage right away, and then attack for 2 in the air, and take it slow. Already at 14 life, okay. I could have maybe not killed the Pledge Mage and still chumped with the token. But I mean, killing it now was fine because again, it was he's just going to draw cards in the Quandrix deck. And that's going to be annoying. So Temur, wow, the final boss has to be a Temur deck, of course. And I won't be surprised if he casts like a Magma Opus out of next turn and destroy us. So yeah, this can definitely be scary. So now what? Could Essence Infusion here and play Spectre. I don't hate that. So then I can start growing the Blood Researcher, and then 2 mana usually is fine. We can move to combat. Attack for 4. And then also play Spectre. And also have another win condition for next turn. Of course, the opponent is also gaining life off of this Witherbloom Pledge Mage, so we're not out of the woodworks yet. I might just drain him with the Spectre end of turn. Don't really feel like I need to really cast Leyline Invocation. Waterfall Aerialist, that's annoying. So maybe I just sit back and drain him at this point and I don't really need to attack. Since we're at a board stall anyways, and Infuse with Vitality is also great, but I think I'm just going to sit behind on my defenses now and start draining the opponent. And if he casts a removal spell, I can always respond with an Infuse to get it back. So opponent has a bunch of stuff here, a million resources, a bunch of cards, definitely very scary to play against. Disengaging 2 life per turn. But it's still going to take him a while here. And Dina, it's even better. Alright, I do want to drain him with a Spectre, but Dina is insane with all these synergies, so I think I'm just going to cast Dina first and see what's up. And then we'll also just stay back here, keep up the Infuse in case he tries to kill one of our creatures. Either Spectre or Dina. Sure. So this is probably not a game where I want to be hyper-aggressive and tap out. But the opponent just essentially drew his whole entire deck at this point. Eventually he's going to run out of Magecraft, I have to imagine. That's fine, I'm not planning to attack in the air anyways. Could just keep up on my mana and start draining him. Probably fine playing out lands at this point and then just say go. Eventually I can keep up the drain and infuse. I think that's fine. Sure. And then I guess now the opponent wants to start being aggressive, which I'm still fine with. Can start chumping with the pest tokens and draining as well. This Blood Researcher is going to be gigantic, and I can afford to take some damage still at this point in the game, so this is totally fine. We don't need to win by damage, by dealing damage to him. We can just win by draining him with life gain. So yeah, eventually he's going to have to deck himself and kill us quickly, or we just drain him to death, so opponent is kind of in a weird spot here. I think I'll just take 3, don't care. Dream Strix, I don't really care about that either. Wormhole Serpent is a little bit annoying. I guess I'll let that resolve. Hopefully no heated debate here. Okay, this is good. So Blood Researcher now is also going to grow and become a key threat. We'll keep saying go here. Playing land, and now I can keep up Infusion and the Drain ability, which I think is really important. He can activate this and hit me, but I can just swing back. And I can also just gain a ton of life, so I think we'll just say go here. Sure. He can activate the Wormhole Serpent like maybe 3 times, but I should still be fine. So he needs to kill me quickly, I just need to drain him quickly, or swing back quickly. I can also sacrifice a Pest token with Dina end of turn to also gain some more life. Sure. Guess I'll just take 8. And I guess I can start again sacrificing pest tokens since I can't really chump block against a Wormhole Serpent anyway, so I think that's fine. Vortex Runner, also another evasive threat. Alright, I think I'm fine draining here. And do I sacrifice 2 pest tokens? I don't actually mind sacrificing 2 pest tokens, but I actually don't mind them having them as chump blockers as well, but maybe one can go, and that's totally fine. I could also sacrifice another one and maybe attack with Blood Researcher next turn. I mean, it's actually not unreasonable. Let's do that. Let's try that. You know what? I'm fine attacking here. And this is insane, so he needs to put a shit ton of blockers in front of this. That's fine. And we'll keep up our mana again. So go. Could always put the 4-3 in front of the 5-3 if I want to try something crazy here. We'll see. I don't think he can kill me with a one-hit KO this turn, since I also have the extra life gain with the Infuse. And then he's facing down a Blood Researcher that's constantly attacking him, so... Maybe I do block with the 4-3. Yeah, it could be reasonable blocking the 4-3 here, because the damage can add up. And that's totally fine. Bookworm, that's annoying. Maybe he just ends up decking himself before killing me, and maybe that's my win condition. So now I guess this can hold off my other creatures. Let's just say go. Ooh, Overgrown Arch, that's a good one. And this can also just keep draining him over time. Yeah, I think we can survive a hit here, and then we should be fine next turn. You know what? Let's actually attack for the 9/9. I feel like it can be a nice way to force some trades here. Yeah, I don't mind an Infuse of Vitality. It's actually quite cool here if I use it to take out all the creatures. I mean, it could actually be pretty reasonable. Or I can just drain him with the Spectre. Maybe draining him with the Spectre, or activating Dina, and then keeping up the drain with the Spectre could be reasonable, so I can keep up Essence Infusion. I think I like that instead. I mean, I can also grow him even more with the Infuse. But, yeah, I guess this is fine. Not sure if this is correct, though, since he can just gain a ton of life with the creature. I can also just cast a 9/9 here, but I think keeping up the drain is just better. The Worm, he can cycle back, it can delay decking, but it's not necessarily going to prevent decking in the long run. I think I'll take the hits and then drain him with Spectre. And we also have Overgrown Arc, which can start draining him as well. Sure. Yeah, I think we might have lost this one if I'm not careful here. Might need to top deck something good. Okay, so now I can activate the Drain ability. Fortifying Draught is nice. I can attack, cast Fortifying Draught. I can also infuse to gain the extra life, which could be pretty nice. Some interesting options here. Yeah, you know what? Let's move to combat. Let's attack with a Spectre. And yeah, I can. So I have how much mana? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can afford to cast Infuse. And I just want that extra life so I don't get run over by the Wormhole Serpent. I can trade this, but I do want to gain extra life here. And then go move myself up to 18. And then let the damage happen, and then we can also drain him the Spectre end of turn, and then drain him the Overgrown Arch. So lots of interesting options here. Yeah, we'll just say go. He can make a bunch of creatures unblockable though. That can be kind of tricky. So I need to get very lucky here. Guess he wants to scry a Bookworm and draw into it. And recast it. So 13, 14, so he can activate this multiple times. Are you fucking kidding me? Just when I needed this fucking card to work, I get owned by a stupid Devouring Tendrils. Just when I had to cast a stupid card that saves this creature, he had to cast a fucking Devouring Tendrils. What a joke. What a fucking joke, man. Maybe I can drain him out with Dina somehow, but this isn't good. Yeah, this just isn't good at all. Ah, these fucking lucky Temur decks. I mean, fucking, they're so stupid. Like, do we just force this dumb shit all the time? Like, what's the skill of even, like, drafting a synergistic deck when you just get owned by this dumb garbage? Holy fuck, top deck Tendrils? Like, come on. Sorry for being salty, guys. It's so stupid. Like, right when I had to use the Infuser Vitality, he scryed and then freaking top decks the freaking Devouring Tendrils to win the game. What a joke. What a freaking joke. I mean, that deck is almost unbeatable anyways. Like, unless I cheesed them out like I did against another opponent. I don't know. That was just so stupid. What a joke. Whatever, that was the final boss. A broken Temur deck. 2-minute mark, of course. Maybe this time they'll give me some mercy. Alright, Agonizing Remorse on 2 is always fine. We can always play a tap land afterwards. Doesn't seem like a great hand, but it seems okay. Yeah, let's Remorse here. Multiple choices, pretty busted. Next turn he's probably going to play Campus Guide. Ingenious Master, you can draw him cards in the late game. I think the multiple choice has to go. We can always Lash the Campus Guide, even though it's not that big of a threat. The damage doesn't add up. Or save this against something stupid like the Spectre Bird. This is not a bad card to trade off with. And I'm fine trading this off for a 2-1. Definitely blocking. Expressive, nice 2-for-1. And you know, even if we don't get a land drop, we can always like cycle the Unwilling Greedy and get a land, but a land would also be really awesome next turn. And as I say that, we got lucky, so Professor. I only have 5 minutes left, so I need to play this quickly. Otherwise, make a part 2 video for the finale. Yeah, I guess I can play land, cycle Unwilling Greedy in main phase still. Keep up Snakeskin Veil. And attack for 5. Opponent doesn't have threats, just a bunch of card draw. And then protecting the Professor is going to be key to getting in a lot of damage. If he has Heat Bay, I might just cast Fortifying Draught, since this can be used against a removal spell that doesn't care too much about damage. Okay, he's also giving me treasure tokens, right? Okay, I don't actually hate this. Yeah, we'll keep a Karok Wrangler on top, and I actually don't mind the land, actually, although, yeah, we probably don't need to land. The Karok Wrangler is pretty nice to have, though. And we also have treasure in the stack as well. What's this? Has a discard, okay. We'll We'll just keep up the treasure tokens. Attack for 5. Don't need to get greedy with my pump tricks, just keep up my treasures here. And it's definitely going to backfire since he gave me all these treasures, since I can protect my creatures now. And he's behind on board. So he probably needs like a devastating mastery here to take my creature out. Because it's almost lethal next turn and he should be scared. Rise of Exodus. Well, I think it's just game over here because now we can Snakeskin Veil the Wrangler. This is why you don't want to cast the Ingenious Mastery with... So yeah, we got him. Alright, at least the final boss wasn't as broken as the other dumb Temur decks we were facing, so... Yeah, lesson of the day, draft and force Temur if you can. And if not, draft a B-tier deck and hopefully get 7 wins with it. But overall, still happy with this draft. The second opponent, the second to last opponent was just really got me kind of salty there. But yeah, if you wanted to watch the draft portion, just watch the part 1 video. I'm not going to go over the deck. I don't have enough time here, so we're just gonna claim our prize. We're gonna crack some Strixhaven. Pretend we're drafting Strixhaven here. Pack 1, pick 1. Opened. A pretty bad... Okay, Will is busted. The Planeswalker half, that is. So first pick Will. Definitely a slam dunk. Great in a controlling deck, of course. Since it's just a card engine and it helps just blow other creatures out. This pack sucks. Might take Pilgrim of the Ages over Demogoth Volt Eater. Usually the Witherbloom decks has enough good fours that you don't need an uncommon like this. Still a decent and solid card, but Pilgrim of the Ages keeps me open. Nothing busted in that pack, honestly. Maybe take the land for the collection, who knows. This pack also sucks. Maybe take Containment Breach as a fine lesson that you don't mind grabbing the green decks to deal with those annoying pesky bomb enchantments in this set. This pack also sucks. This pack is just bad in general. Maybe I just take the land. Or take Eager First Year, force an aggressive Loreholder Silver Quill deck. I guess our rares are now lands now since we opened up... Teferi's Protection is worth a lot of money, but Bookworm is a bomb in the ramp decks if you can pick up Field Trips and Cultivate in the Quandrix decks, and Eureka Moments is pretty busted. Elemental Summoning is also good. Not a great card in Limited, but you would take this for the money since it's worth a lot of value, but I would probably, if I was serious, I would probably go Bookworm, Elemental Summoning, and Blood Researcher. This pack sucks. Take a Clever Lumimancer, force the Guiding Voice deck. This pack also sucks. Cram Session, Blood, Spectre, all fine cards. Probably takes the Spectre, the Blood Researcher, since we need them in the Witherbloom decks. And probably just take a Hunt for Specimens. And this is an indication that I got all my rares now, so Cracker packs really aren't really good now since I have all my rares and I won't be able to evaluate the pack without the Mythic Bombs. But anyways, to compare the commons and uncommons. But anyways, thank you.